Oh, another thing, which has nothing to do with paella. Look at this. Do you like my crochet blanket? I made this. I hope you like it. Hasta luego. Hola. First of all, before I say anything, I would like to apologize for any noise that's coming from outside. We have some workers outside and they've decided that this is the time that they're gonna be as noisy as possible. Also, I have my iPad here, so because I have some notes, so I'll be looking down. This month's dish is paella, which is a Spanish dish. The tradition Paella Valenciana is made with rabbit and chicken and some vegetables. There is also a fish and seafood version of it, which is very popular on the coasts. This is vegan paella, so no animal products. Also, I don't use oil or salt. The traditional Valencian paella has a bean called the garrafon, which is a white, wide bean. I couldn't find it, so I replaced it with butter bean. You can also use broad beans if you want, but make sure they are peeled. I also used asparagus, which is not usually used in paella, but I wanted to up the vegetables in the paella. Okay, now a few points that I would like to make. I have watched quite a few videos on how to make paella on YouTube, and I've seen a lot of recipes, and I have few points to make. If you are going to go to the trouble and expense of making paella, because let's face it, you know, paella is not a cheap thing to cook, especially if you're going to use saffron. Okay, if you are going to the trouble of making paella, please make sure you buy short grain rice. Long grain rice, basmati rice, jasmine rice will not give you the taste or the texture of paella. And a small bag of paella rice is not going to break the bank. So get the round, the short grain rice. If you don't want to use white rice, I'm using white rice because it's what I have. But if you don't want to use white rice, use brown rice. It'll just mean that you need to cook it longer. You will probably need more water, and it'll be more chewy and nutty. Secondly, if you don't have a paellera is what paella is cooked in. If you don't have a paellera, and most people won't have a paellera, then use an open, wide pan, like a very deep frying pan, or one of those like round, short pans. That would be good enough. The third point, tomatoes. Paella is not a tomato rice, okay? I have seen people use, you know, for a four portion paella. I have some people seen people use 1 or 1.5 tins of, or even 2 tins of crushed tomatoes. That is wrong, okay? For 4 people, you need to crush 1 tomato. That's all. If you're using a tin, maybe 3 or 4 tablespoons of tomato is all you need. It's not supposed to taste tomatoey. The vegetables in paella are not supposed to be crunchy. They're supposed to be soft and caramelized. So when you put them, leave them to caramelize. Don't stir too much. Another thing with stirring, this is not a risotto. You don't have to stand there and keep on stirring it. Once the rice in, the spices are in, the water is in, give it one stir to make sure all the spices are mixed properly, and then leave it. You do not mix it, you do not touch the rice after that. You just leave it, okay? It gets, if you stir it too much, it gets very stodgy. Now, saffron. I know, saffron is the most expensive spice in the world. Gram for gram, it's more expensive than gold. Blah, 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 blah. And Spanish saffron is even more expensive than normal saffron. There are reasons for that, because the amount of saffron produced in Spain is very small. Also, the Spanish saffron is roasted, not sun-dried. So what you can do is buy the saffron threads. If you don't want to spend the money on the Spanish saffron, buy the saffron threads. Make an envelope of aluminium, put it inside, close it, heat the pan, and on each side, put it 5 minutes in the pan on each side and remove it. No more than that, otherwise it will burn. And then grind it. Don't buy the pre-ground stuff, because you don't know what's in it. You know, most of it will not be saffron. And don't use the color. They sell like a yellowy, orangey color thing that is for the paella. Don't do that, because it's just chemicals and it doesn't taste anything like what it's supposed to do. If you're gonna do paella, do paella. Otherwise, do something else. There is something called socarrat. Now, socarrat is usually, you know, the paella has crunchy bits on the side and at the bottom sometimes. And it is lovely. It is really, really nice. It gives the paella a beautiful taste, and we love it and we fight over it. Unfortunately, I was a coward. Because I'm not using oil, I was afraid of leaving it too long in case it burns. Be braver than I am. Leave it until the socarrat develops, and you will not regret it. Next time I will try to do it properly, but this time I lost my nerve. Anything else? That's it really. That's all I have to say about it. I hope you like the video. If you do, please give me a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed, subscribe and hit the bell button so that you are notified whenever I upload a new video. And thank you for watching, and hasta luego. So the ingredients for the paella is 1 cup of short grain rice, okay? I'm using white because that's what I have, but you can use, I guess you can use brown. There is some white, they're butter beans, but in the traditional Valencian paella, they use a bean called garrafon, which I don't have. There are green beans. I'm using some asparagus. It's not usually in the original, but I wanted to increase the amount of greens in the recipe. I will use the bottom bits at the beginning, and right at the end I'll put the soft tops. There is 2 cloves of garlic. There is about 50 grams of toasted, roasted, and saffron. This is one tomato that has been, or you can use crushed tomato. I just use fresh tomatoes. This is red pepper that has been roasted, which I'm going to use as a garnish. You're also supposed to use artichokes. I'm using the jarred ones, and I will put them right at the end so that they don't melt completely. I will cut them into quarters and put them in right at the end. Spices are, as I said, saffron, and then sweet smoked paprika, not the hot smoked paprika. And then I have 2.5 glasses of vegetable stock. So let's start. Traditionally, you're supposed to fry everything, but of course I don't use oil, so I'm doing it without oil. Also, don't move it around, because this is not, the vegetables are not supposed to be al dente or anything. They're supposed to be cooked and caramelized.